Hello, my name is Pastor Mike, and I serve at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Elizabeth, Illinois. This is episode 21, God's Plan Revealed. Our text for today is Genesis chapter 17, verses 15 through 27. It is recorded in Genesis chapter 12 that the Lord said to Abram, and I quote, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Verses 1 through 3. Abram was 75 years old and childless when God said those words to him. Then, 10 years later, Abram took up matters into his own hands. You see, it seemed as if God was very slow in providing for what he promised to give to Abram. So Abram took Hagar, his wife's servant, as another wife. Now, by the way, this was Abram's wife Sarah's plan. If Sarah could not give Abram a child, then maybe Hagar would. Now, is this how God was going to bless the nations? Through Ishmael, the son of Abram and Hagar? No, of course not. God had a plan. A miraculous plan. And it is recorded in today's text, Genesis chapter 17, verses 15 through 27. Isaac's birth promised. And God said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall become nations. Kings of peoples shall come from her." Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said to himself, "Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child?" And Abraham said to God, "Oh, that Ishmael may live before you." God said, "No. But Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his offspring after him. As for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and multiply him greatly. He shall father 12 princes, and I will make him into a great nation. But I will establish my covenant with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this time next year." When he had finished talking with him, God went up from Abraham. Then Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all those born in his house or bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskins that very day, as God had said to him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, and Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. that very day, Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised, and all the men of the house, those born in the house and those bought with money from a foreigner, were circumcised with him. So far, the text. Nearly 25 years after God said, "I will make of you a great nation," God revealed his plan to Abraham, that he and his wife Sarai would conceive and have a son together by the name of Isaac. This was God's plan, that Abraham, who was blessed with his wife Sarai, that they would have a child together in due time. And this child would then begin all of the children of God would come from that child. Sometimes we are quick to judge Abraham and Sarah for not waiting, for taking matters into their own hands, for knowing what the Word of God said, but taking things into their own hands because they thought that they knew a better way. However, whenever we go against God's plan, it always involves sin. How many of us have patiently waited for God's plan to unfold for us? Well, the answer is no one. Because God's plan will happen no matter what. We can't stop it. We can't make it go faster. God's plan is perfect, for He is perfect. And the reason why I could say that no one has patiently waited for God's plan to unfold, because we are all sinful. We all take matters into our own hands. A lot of times we don't even realize what we're doing. But in response to our sinfulness, God's plan still unfolds. Even though Abram and Hagar had a son by the name of Ishmael, God's plan still unfolded years later, because Abraham and Sarah were going to have a son by the name of Isaac. God is merciful, God is gracious, God is kind. God, in His plan, will bless us, sometimes despite us. Thanks be to God.